Today on Zaza's Creations, we will be talking about my experiences as a gardener, and I will share a few quick tips and words of encouragement to help you to get started with your garden. My husband and I decided to start a garden in 2016. Gardening is something he did with his dad, and now he can share this activity with his sons. My grandfather was an outdoorsman, and he was also a gardener. He passed down what he knew to his son, who did not pass it down to me, baby, because prior to this, I could not take care of a potted plant. After really getting into gardening, I discovered that it was really fun for me, and it was also fun for my kids. It provides exercise for the body, it provides mental stimulation, and it's also spiritual in essence because you get to experience the power of creation, and you get to take time out and get away from the stress and spend time out in nature. And nature provides richly. One seed produces a plant, and one plant produces many times over. You can take this produce and harvest the seeds from them, and that can be used to sow in the ground for next season, for the following season. Gardening helps with your overall grocery bill. It helps with your overall health, providing fresh organic foods for yourself and your family. It's a powerful life skill that should be encouraged. What's not to love about that? Before you begin your garden, you must first assess the amount of space you have and use that as a basis for what method you will choose. You must also consider what zone you live in and the types of plants and veggies for the season that you are in. Once you compile that information, you are ready to begin. When it comes to gardening, there is more than one way to skin a cat. I've tried a few different methods. I've tried raised beds, which is very expensive because it requires you to purchase materials to build a bed up off of the ground, and you have to also purchase potting soil. I've tried pots, and I still use pots today for different kinds of veggies depending on what I'm growing. This is a moderately expensive way to do it. It's not that expensive because pots are rather cheap. Another method that I've used is directly sowing into the ground. This method works best for me because I have the space for it and it's least expensive. This is an example of a raised bed that does not require a lot of space. If you have less space, you can do a vertical garden. You can also do a little herb garden on the windowsill. A little something in the kitchen to get you some fresh herbs going in your food. If you are a beginner and you want to experiment, I would suggest growing in pots because it's not a lot of fuss. It's not a lot of mess. You don't have to weed anything. And just here are a few quick tips as to what you can grow into pots and the size and depth that you would need. You just basically have to do a little research and find what works best for you. This is my garden as it stands today. I have planted a row and a half of green leafy vegetables, but nothing has popped up yet, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. I will also add transplants at a later date and time. It's still warm here in Louisiana, and this is a fall garden, so I'm just kind of out waiting a little bit. I'm going to keep you updated on our progress, and I just really sincerely hope that you try gardening. You will not be disappointed. Thank you guys for tuning in.